All right, y'all, we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business today. We're going to see if, for these two Google searches, if BSS is present. So we're back here in the GBC universe, taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. Learn more about that, pin post, pin profile, whatever. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. We're missing people somewhere on our intent ladder here. Either the high intent people or low intent people or mid intent people. Here on this profile, this channel, this brand, we talk about BSS, Boudoir Search Sameness, which we'll get into. We focus on the highest intent people. People search for boudoir photo shoots right now on social search and Google search, literally typing it in because that's what we want right now. On our other brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, we talk about BLCS on our other profiles. And right now we work with boudoir photographers spending more than 10 grand per month in boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, Boudoir Search Sameness, means a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. 0 slots on page 1, that's killing us because we already know that approximately 80% of Google searches never go past page 1. So, and we want to deal with that 80% pack. That's the majority. That only stick on page 1, which means if we got 0 slots, we're invisible to them. If we got 1 slot, we're still essentially invisible because everyone else on the front page 1 has got 1 slot as well. So we don't stand out. They're just going to click through, click everyone's link over in everyone's, website, fill out the contact form. We actually are, what we teach here, so we want to hit the GBC minimum of actually 3 out of 10 on page 1. That means, they'll see our name 3 times on page 1. It's totally doable if using the correct strategy. And that looks totally different than everyone else having 1. Sometimes, occasionally, someone will have 2, but dude, if we got 3, no, basically no one else will have 3. Ideally, we want to have as many as possible, but 3, definitely doable. Any boudoir photographer can do. 0, 1, though, that's bad because 0, 1 slots on page 1 on Google is not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. The first root cause that everyone knows about, market saturation. And that is, more boudoir photographers entering the market, every day, every week. Seems like anytime everyone gets a new iPhone, they're throwing up their Google My Business profile, throwing up their website, saying they now do boudoir photo shoots, which clusters page 1 on Google and probably kicking us off of there, kicking us down to page 2 where we're invisible and we're dead from page 2 of Google. But the bigger problem that nobody's pointed out, I've never seen anyone point this out before, and what I see as the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses is the false belief of page 1 equality. There's a false belief that every boudoir photographer is entitled or can have either 0 or 1 slots on page 1. So if I have my 1 slot, okay, I'm cool, I'm chilling. Or there's more market saturation. All right, I got pushed off page 1, now I'm on page 2, but I got 1 slot on page 2, but that's fine. So I'm 0 slots on page 1, 1 slot on page 2, but that's how it is. That's the game. No, incorrect. I'm from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in 10 days. We can actually take as much page 1 real estate as we want to put in the work to take. And because people resign themselves to, okay, either 0, 1 slot, it's like people haven't even tried to take more slots when Google wants to give the slots to the people that wants the slots the most. That's the goal of Google, and obviously the most relevant search term to the user search. Now, a boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness, so 0, 1 slots on page 1 on Google, that's boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Because if they're on page 1, they got 1 slot, they look the same as everyone else, they're essentially invisible. They're going to be outcompeted, price shopped. And if they're on page 2 or anything, they're dead. 80% ain't even going there. And the precursor to a disappearing boudoir photography business is having BSS becoming a disappearing boudoir photographer. That's the first time. That's like the canary in the coal mine. But we got the solution because we know that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And we know that because we invented it. It's actually been utilizing it about the last 7 months. Happy with its results, so we're bringing it to market now. And S cubed methodology is actually a system that allows us to take as much search real estate as possible on Facebook search, Instagram search, TikTok search, and YouTube search. And once we take that real estate, the back end effect is taking as many slots on page 1 of Google as we want, or as we put in the effort to acquire. And the special thing about S-cubed methodology, this is the only thing, literally the only thing that I've seen that can successfully outcompete market saturation. The only thing that can do it make progress towards it within 30 days, visible progress. Obviously, the only other thing would be brand, but that takes years to build. But if we want to fight back against market saturation, literally in the next month, we can do that S-cubed methodology. And also, it's the only thing I've seen that even if there are 1 million boudoir photographers in our city, and we decided, so super maximum market saturation, they got their website, whatever. Each one's got their website. If we took S-cubed methodology to the max, and we, ranked the first 300 slots across all social search for, boudoir photographer, whatever, Charlotte, North Carolina, that then flows to Google. So basically anywhere any woman searches for a boudoir photographer, Charlotte, North Carolina, we've taken up the first 300 slots, and Google, each page is 10 slots, so we're taking up the first 30 pages of Google. Our business will be fine. Our business will be growing. We'll be the fastest growing business in the city, even though there's 999,999 other boudoir photographers, because we successfully used S-cubed methodology to outcompete market saturation. That's the magic of it. Well, one of the magic things of it. There's also some more magical things on the back end. Now, once treated with S-cubed methodology, we have page 1 visibility. So we want to hit the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 local, 3 out of 10 for our city. Because if we got 0 on page 1, or on page 2, we're dead. If we got 1 on page 1, we're still invisible, still basically dead. So, we'll be price shopped to death. 2, that's better. There's a chance that someone else will have 2 though. 3, basically no one else is gonna have 3. So then we'll definitely be standing out versus the 1 slotters, and we'll also still be standing out against the 2 slotters if we got 3 slots. The extra bonus is every new link that we get on page 1, we kick competing boudoir photographers off page 1, effectively making them invisible. So either we do it to them, or eventually someone in our city is probably going to use this strategy and do it to us. And if they're working with me, well, I'm only working with one person in a city at a time, so y'all got to figure out how to do this yourself and put in the time to actually execute it. And page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. Okay, so we're actually being seen in search because we got 3 out of 10. We hit the GBC minimum. We can go higher, 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. But we want to hit the GBC minimum. Because we get more and more visible, higher and higher chance people come to us, less and less chance people price shop, and there's fewer boudoir photographers to price shop against on page 1. So we're going back, we're kicking our competitors completely off page 1, making them essentially invisible. And a boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer. So it's our full micro universe here. disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the two horns of market saturation and page one equality. And we got the solution though, S cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility, we become a visible boudoir photographer, and boudoir search, and we have boudoir search visibility. And that's starting the momentum. We can take this momentum as far as we want to go to also be dominating page one, as many slots as we want to go for. Now this is my results using this. Was bringing basically ranking for this term up at the top. Bring it out here eventually. Term is BLCS Boudoir. All right, here we go. BLCS Boudoir. It's for the other account, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, the other accounts, the other brand. So we see we got the AI overview, which is not me yet. Got the Google Map Pack. And then we got, here we go. Now we got the organic. So I got slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, slot 6, slot 7, slot 8, and slot 10. So I got 9 out of 10 slots, did this in 10 days. Someone searching BLCS Boudoir. Who are they coming to? Obviously me. It's person number 9. They don't stand any chance. And this is in 10 days. I could keep going. I could take, eventually, I believe, takes that slot 9 as well. And so these are my results doing this. And so now we're going to check if this boudoir photography business, well, you saw in my picture, I definitely don't have BSS, boudoir search sameness. So we'll see if this boudoir photography business has boudoir search sameness for these two searches. We got local search, then we got kind of the larger city search. So first one, we got West Pasco, Washington. And let's see. So, all right, we got 1. Boom. We got 2. All right, so we do not have BSS. Nice. I wonder if Boudoir by Rebecca is the same one. I'm not sure. Okay, there we go. You're in Pasco, Washington. So we got 3. All right, dude, we hit perfect. This is exactly what I want to see. I want to see at least the GBC minimum. So we do not have BSS for this Google search. Now we'll check. Now we'll check kind of for the larger city area. So go down to the organic. So larger city area, Tri-Cities, Washington. So we got 1. 2, right there, the threads. 3, couples boudoir. Okay, that's fine. It's got boudoir in it, so we got 3. Hey, this is actually perfect. So we do not have BSS, and actually for local and city, they've met the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10. So hey, dude, that's perfect. So we can confidently say they're probably not a disappearing boudoir photographer. Well, they don't meet it categorically because they don't have BSS, but probably not disappearing. They're most likely treading water or growing. So I got the the 3 out of 10. So it's perfect. This is what we want to shoot for. And then for those that want to keep growing the momentum, take more page 1 search slots, as many as possible. So if you're a boudoir photographer, disappearing boudoir photography, you've got boudoir search sameness, you're seeing market saturation, coming up. It's going to become more and more saturated. You know that page one equality is a false belief. You kind of didn't think about it before, but now you're like, yeah, dude, why is everyone, why is no one trying to take more slots page one? And you're seeing with the AI, way AI's going, there's going to be taking more people's jobs, pushing more people to become boudoir photographers on top of when they get a new iPhone, they're a new boudoir photographer, or if they get a new camera, they're a new boudoir photographer. And so you're seeing the last time a lot of people lost their jobs was COVID, and a whole deluge of boudoir photographers came into the market. So you're saying, all right, that's probably going to happen again. And you want to get prepared. And you're seeing that there's also back-end benefits of this S-cubed methodology that we haven't talked about yet, but you're seeing, hey, this S-cubed methodology, you want to use this, you want to keep rolling with it, because it can fight back against market saturation faster than any other solution. The only other thing would be, building a brand, but that takes years. And you realizing the other things on the back end of this is, if you got all these kind of bundles of keywords under your business, your brand that you're ranking for, that's a higher chance you show up in the AI search overview when you rank for all these keywords using the S-cubed methodology, and higher chance you rank for AI search as a back-end benefit. ChatGPT search, whatever, Claude search, Perplexity search, Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini search, because they look for kind of bundles of keywords around a business, themes, thematic columns. And so you're like, man, I was able to get page one on Google and page one on all these search, social search, and kind of get the back end benefits of higher probability of AI me being the only one AI overview or being included in AI search. Where the last time I used AI search to search for a boudoir photographer in a city, it gave me 3. Those are ChatGPT. It gave me 3. So a higher chance you become one of the 3 by having all the highest intent keywords focused, kind of thematically bundled as like pillars underneath your brand name. And you're also noticing that if some other boudoir photographer goes first to start using this in your area, then, well, you can't work with me anymore. So you'd have to figure it all out yourself and then equal them in work to maintain so they don't take over page one, or, most likely need to double them in work to actually make progress at getting more slots on page one that they were taking. So if you decide, okay, it's better just be the first goer and solidify your position, get the highest chance of basically being market saturation proof, busting that false belief of page one inequality, then shoot me a DM when my DM's open. My DMs are closed right now. New patient intake at the hospital is currently closed. But when we do open up for a new patient intake, shoot me a DM, we'll see if you qualify, and I'll have some questions for you.